Before we get to Christian Hand breaking down a song for us, I need caller 25 right now, 1-800-955-KLOS. Get qualified for the $1,000 cash drop on Fridays at 8 a.m. If you hear your name called because your name is in the hat because you qualify right now, well, then you have 5 minutes to call us and you win $1,000. That's happening on Friday at 8 a.m. Right now, it's 9 a.m. on a Monday, and that's when Christian Hand joins us in the studio.
Good morning.
Hey. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I regret this decision.
Oh.
What, coming in today?
Just Mondays. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I have long weekends, people. So we're going to do this one because I did it last night on the session here, 7 p.m. Sunday nights in KLOS, and it was such a huge success that the band reached out to us and invited us to come and hang out with them at the Aqua Caliente show in March.
Really?
But it was John Taylor from the band, and I have a reason. I believe that the reason is because we blew sunshine up his butt for the entire thing by talking about what an amazing bass line it is. So, but it is an amazing bass line on Rio. So if you're unaware of Duran Duran's magnificence in the studio, sit down and learn something. So on drums, one of the great things about Duran Duran is there's 3 guys named Taylor, and none of them are related.
Oh.
Roger Taylor on drums, John Taylor on bass, Andy Taylor on guitar, and none of them are related at all.
And it's not Andy Griffith.
What are the chances? You know?
Andy?
So you got Roger Taylor, the not brother to any of the other Taylors on drums, and this is not an easy thing to do. 16th hi-hats for 4 minutes in perfect synchronicity.
The whole length of the song.
Whole length of the song.
It didn't loop back then. It was,
No.
you got to do it live.
You have to play it. So he's giving it the beans, and then does a nice little. The chorus gets a little bit, da-dum, da-dum. Still hi-hats, still going.
Makes you wonder how many retakes they had. Oh God, the drummer screwed that hi hat. Do the whole song
Back to
over.
one.
You have to do it all over.
Rogie. It's not easy. And then of course you get the old double time part where he goes into this. It's fantastic bass drum work. That's not double bass drum, that's single bass drum.
Wow.
So you do this song early in the concert because it's going to wear you out.
Yeah, you're
as the
plumb
drummer.
tuckered by the end of it. Yeah, like, Rio, really, lads? The 28th song is going to be Rio, you bastards.
The third encore's Rio.
Oh, for crying out loud. So he's just doing he's doing the Lord's work back there. Which is fantastic. But really, the superstar of this song is a young lad by the name of Jonathan Taylor, who's now our friend on the session. Listen to this. This is... It's magnificent. Had great hair. Fantastic jacket on probably while he was doing
You're
this.
already invited to the show,
Yeah,
Christian.
he's not here.
My God.
I'm just hoping to get to sleep with him instead of one of the cougars who's going to be showing up. I don't want him squandered on some lady. And he does a little hang before the chorus, which we love.
This is the video when they're on the boat.
Oh yeah, is it ever?
Yeah.
All seasick. And the chorus.
Busy bass line.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't stop. He's a big James Jamerson fan, he's a big Paul McCartney fan, so he's writing from the same. You put it with the drums. He was in a band called the Neurotic Outsiders with our very own Steve Jones. Did you
Really?
know that? Yeah.
No.
Yep. And I believe Andy Taylor was in their band as well. But this is just preposterous bass playing.
That's the busiest bass line of anything I think you played in.
It's really just absurd. It's the entire song is hung on it. And then when it gets to the double time, he does this. He goes...
Funky.
I mean, it's just preposterous. He's like,
Is he considered one of the best bassists of that era, or no?
He is probably the least applauded bass player of all time. Like you'd think Duran Duran, you'd just be like, oh yeah, no, cool, cocaine and supermodels, sounds great. No, these are like real musicians. I don't think anyone has an understanding of just how good he is.
I
really
read someplace that the bassist is actually the most important guy in the band.
He is.
And when you think of the part he's doing, the bass note, the bass root of the chord is barely there. He hits it and bounces off
it's
of it.
all harmonies and counter melodies and all that sort of business. So the guy who took the easy way out on this, because he's a smart man, was the guitar player, the unrelated Andy Taylor, who was like, well, while you're doing all that, I'll just go. And if anybody needs me, I'll be shagging a supermodel. Because when you're competing with this, you don't need anything else.
The bass is like a rhythm guitar,
Yep.
essentially.
And then the chorus is so good, because this is all he does on the chorus, right? He had no clue. He just goes like this.
Moon River.
Using the whole fist dock.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. There's no other guitars in the chorus at all.
Is this, what? Star Spangled Banner from Woodstock? Sounds like
Yeah,
a
but
little
it's
bit.
doing a little Hendrix.
Little Hendrix in there.
And then back to this. Cut the one I did earlier in, lads. She's still not finished. And then in the middle eight, he shows us this is some serious chic business.
That's like a 70s influence guitar,
Oh, yeah.
isn't it?
He's a big Nile Rodgers guy. I mean, you listen to like Power Station and that stuff afterwards there.
I'm sorry, I still hear Moon River.
You have to get that out. So they were all pretty good-looking chaps in this band, but really the prettiest of all of them was Nick Rhodes on the keyboards, who called himself Nick Rhodes because his real name was Nick Masters, and then of course he didn't like the obvious joke that comes after that, Master. But, you know,
Yeah.
So he changed it to Nick Rhodes, and I was saying it would be even better if he'd changed it to Nick Taylor, and then they all would have been Taylors, except for Simon Le Bon. So this sound right here, that you've always heard and gone, oh, that's cool. That's actually the sound of Nick Rhodes throwing a bunch of metal bars into a grand piano and then reversing it and making this cool sound out of it. Yeah. So, look what you learn at the show here.
Seriously.
I know.
Very Beatlesy, that.
And then it does this. And then this hand clap goes through the whole song. So when you start to build it,
Is that keyboard done with a sequencer, or is he playing that fast?
No, it's like an arpeggio. There's two of them going. So he's got that.
So he's just holding the chord and it's automatically doing all those?
But then the he's playing with his. That's like a delay on the note itself.
Wow.
He was very inventive, Nick Rhodes. Mr. Masters, as we call him.
Between that and the bass line, is there a
great.
busier song in history?
That's the thing. Like, you put them together, and then the chorus is literally just. This weirdness. The bass line. The drums. And then that guitar line.
So none of the instruments are holding a chord.
None. Brilliant, isn't it?
It is.
Now you should have some newfound respect for Duran Duran, you bunch of twats.
Amazing.
That's the point of the bit, you douche.
Everybody's like Duran Duran.
Yeah, really? Look what you're missing out on.
Because Nick Rhodes sounds like something that you'd see, like, 100 years from now. This just his part would be the top 40 music of the era.
Right.
And then you combine that 70s influence of like the guitar and the
Boom.
bass and stuff. It's like,
You got the whole thing. All right, so the real majesty of this song, though, lies in the brilliantly named Andy Hamilton, who's played with Elton John. Like, you hear him and you're like, oh, this dude was on everything. So he played with Elton John, Wham, Tina Turner, Paul McCartney. He's actually played with Radiohead, Bon Jovi, and Bowie. And the biggest crime is, in the video, Nick Rhodes fakes the saxophone solo on the top of a cliff face in South America. Andy Hamilton's like, really, lads? You bastards couldn't fly me to Rio de Janeiro so I could do this?
Now we're talking.
So good.
Dang.
When did the sax go extinct in pop music?
Isn't it sad? It's a real sadness, man. I mean, somewhere around the
It's so
90s,
sexy.
I think it was when Kurt Cobain decided that the saxophone was not sexy at all.
Yeah.
Which is a complete mistake, because I think Nirvana would have been helped hugely by a massive sax solo. So then there's this one at the end. Well done, lads. And of course, so his real name is Simon John Charles Le Bon. Abbreviated it to Simon Le Bon, which just meant I shagged a lot of supermodels. Everybody in this band had a supermodel girlfriend where at the peak of their powers. Every single one of them. Epic. In fact, the girl that laughs in the middle of it is Nick Rhodes' girlfriend, who was a supermodel.
Moving on the floor now, babe, you're a bird of paradise. Cherry ice cream smile, I suppose it's very nice. With a step to your left and a flick to the right, you catch that mirror way out west. You know you're something special and you look like you're the best.
Harmonies,
Her
right?
name is Rio and she dances on the sand. Just like that river twisting through a dusty land.
No vibrato, just holding
And
pure.
when she shines,
straight note.
she really shows you all she can. Oh, Rio, Rio, dance across the Rio Grande.
It took him 2 weeks to do this vocal because he would do a sentence, shag a supermodel, do a line of blow, pass out, come back, shag a supermodel.
I've seen you on the beach.
Yes, you have.
And I've seen you on TV. To all the billion stars, it means so much to me, like a birthday or a pretty view. But then I'm sure that you know it's just for you. Her name is Rio and she dances on the sand. Just like that river twisting through a dusty land. And when she shines, she really shows you all she can. Oh, Rio, Rio, dance across the Rio Grande.
And then the sound of Nick Rhodes' supermodel girlfriend getting tickled.
Oh,
You want to be in the
Look
song?
at that, did it nearly run you down? At the end of the drive, the lawman arrived. You make me feel alive, alive, alive.
Like, this is a ridiculous climb. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're the only one who appreciates it. These
I do.
freaking savages we're sitting with.
Hey now, woo, look at that, did it nearly run you down?
So he's at the bottom.
At the end of
Starts
the
to
drive,
climb.
the lawman arrived. You make me feel alive, alive, alive.
Take that, McCartney.
It's orgasmic.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
what
That's what he's talking about.
That's what makes you.
Is on my side or something. I know what you're thinking. I'll tell you something. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, you do. All right, so if we put it into the chorus, this is what's crazy. So the chorus is literally just those elements, which is the 4 that we played, the keyboards, that weird guitar line thing, bass and drums, and then that's it. Everybody's playing a harmony.
And now I know why that's always been my favorite Duran Duran song.
Has it really?
Yeah, it really has. Of all the songs,
I mean,
really
it's like
Rio.
there's something about it where you're just like, what was going on that and then of course when you do this in the middle of come on, this whole dreamy.
Name that chord. Oh, there isn't one.
With the sax solo over the top of it, it's like, this is panty dropping, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello.
I'm just going to go slip into something more comfortable.
Oh.
Be right back.
I will too. Hopefully it'll be you, darling. And then a little chic.
That's a great sax solo.
Isn't that amazing? And it's like one of these things where they've just been besmirched by their own video history. You know, like I was reading up about this, and it's so 80s. The video was released on VHS, Laserdisc, and Betamax.
Oh.
3 solid choices. You know, like 2 of those don't matter anymore.
Right.
This is really one of the first videos that was like, it was in nature. It
Yep.
was a like watching a film.
Well, that's what they did. They were the first band that, like, if you think about it, prior to this, the music videos were like 4 idiots in a studio somewhere with a smoke machine and a terrible camera lip syncing awfully. And these guys were like, no, let's spend a lot of money on James Bond films. And that's what they did, like Hungry Like the Wolf.
Right.
This one, Boys on Film. Girls on Film, which has like there's a pornographic R-rated version of it that you can find on the interwebs.
Did they do a James Bond theme once?
They did, which I'm glad you stated that, my friend, because it is the greatest, I think one of the best James Bond themes of all time, which is this one. I'm so happy that you said something.
See, I know
Franklin,
stuff.
I know. This one, View to a Kill, is amazing. Features Grace Jones. Anyway, so that's Rio from Duran Duran. This Sunday night, 7 p.m. on KLOS. We'll be doing a Pat Benatar song, which is an epic, and hope to see you there. And then on April 15th, I'll be doing my first live recording of the show and a Nirvana breakdown at the Los Angeles College of Music. You can find the ticket link to that at Christian James Hand Sessions at cjhsessions.com, or find me on Facebook, Christian James Hand. Be warned, I'm very liberal, unless you hadn't worked that out already. So don't message me to let me know that that's how I am. I already know. And Instagram at Crinktop. Thanks for having me, you guys, folks. This is great.
Always fun having you on, Christian. Christian
pleasure.
breaking down the rock songs bit by bit, track by track. You'll never listen to music the same way again. And like he says, he does it every Sunday night at 7 p.m. called The Sessions with Christian James Hand right here on the Rock of Southern California, 95.5 KLOS. Now, we have to apologize to those of you that we may have offended during the show today and get the hell out of here.
Sorry to Canada, transitioning aliens, milk dunkers, and lesbian dinner parties.
Postmen, the Marines, wet T-shirts, and Lucky Charms.
Minnesota, Charmin, and Helen Keller.
Porn collectors, fat British housewives, Steve Jobs, and Rocky.
Stay-at-home moms, studs, Taco Bell brides, and mistake babies.
Big Boy, Lancaster, personal trainers, and weekends on KABC.
Armin Abdu
And weekdays, too.
And Tariq, Pepperidge Farms, Rod Stewart and Eric's wife.
Dermatologist, Arnold Schwarzenegger, white winos, and moly moms.
Jose Calderon, Linda Lovelace, Country Time, and Nickelback. You really have to listen to the whole show. We are Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.